Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to a new series here on the channel. This is like a creative build randomizer thing. Let me explain. Essentially, we got 9 themes in a dispenser, 9 different blocks, and we also got some plot size randomizer thingies here. The goal is just to use the theme, use the block we get around a central build. That's it. I'm going to be joined by GP. He's a member on the Afterlife SMP, so please go check him out. And if you're wondering why he's not here, well, we did record an intro, but we didn't really cover the main points about this whole series, so that's why, we decided to just make our own, because we were a bit excited. And you know what, that pretty much sums it up. Me and GP both being very ambitious builders, kind of just want to build something cool together, and also add a bit of a challenge behind it. So spoiler alert, I've actually already built the entire thing and clicked these buttons, so we're gonna go meet up with GP now. Flash back to the past and go click some buttons and I guess build this crazy thing. Are you ready to click some buttons?
I think I'm ready.
Okay,
yeah,
here we go.
Let's do it.
This
All right,
is
you
exciting.
press the theme.
Okay,
see what we got for a theme today.
What the heck? Okay,
What's
that? Read it.
We get water-like steampunk. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. Okay, you
All
go
right,
ahead and do
what's
the block.
Sure, let's see what block we get. That's the opposite of water.
What the heck? What are we gonna do with
what?
No. I think that's the last block I would have wanted, but alright.
Alright, well,
now let's just get a 10
X.
by 50. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, 44.
44
That's pretty
on
big.
the X.
Okay.
And on the Z, we get 27. Okay, that's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Not too bad.
It's good size. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? And this is build 1. We're starting water-like steampunk. Yeah, I know it's a bit weird because steam is water, and I remember making the theme and I was just thinking of water wheels. Anyways, getting started, this is kind of like the sketch of the build, so we're going to breeze through this pretty fast, but we decided to go with like a floating island, but it's also a factory. And this was an interesting concept we decided to play around with, and you can see the shapes, the factory itself kind of encapsulates, almost overwhelms the terraforming the island. In the end, since me and GP had basically no experience in a steampunk build or factory at all, we decided to go with some pretty basic shapes, and yeah, it gets crazy from here on. We really just wanted that water wheel, the water part of the build, to be this crazy big thing that your eyes are naturally drawn towards. Now it's time to figure out colors, and we really decided to go with something kind of plain for the walls, right? We want the water wheel to stand out. That was kind of our big underlying philosophy, I guess, with the build. Then at this point in the build, we knew something was missing, and we tried to do a couple things, but ultimately kind of just gave up and started work on the water wheel. And the water wheel was a huge challenge. We firstly decided to go very diagonal with it in super crazy shapes because we could. I mean, the size of this water wheel is massive. And yeah, we were having some trouble with the world edit in the back there, though. It turned out alright, and I liked it. It was time to work on the walls. And like I said, we were having a lot of trouble with these, though it all started coming together when I added these little wooden things, kind of just poking out, from the top of the roof. It worked. It worked really well with everything. I sort of thought of those wooden things like bones, almost like a skeleton to the build, for at least the details that were to come, and the details really brought this build to life. For the rest of this little segment, we kind of just flew around and put little fences, little lanterns, anything you can think of, really. And this is at the point where we were feeling this wave of inspiration, like, yes, the build, it is working. And that felt really good, so let's continue on. Now me and GP are YouTubers, and at this point, at least I was seeing this front side, it's the thumbnail side. It's where the thumbnail's gonna go. So we began working on this water wheel to really figure out that full effect we were going for. And this turned out pretty cool. Definitely nice to have one big wheel and then one smaller wheel. Oh, and here's another little baby water wheel we did on the other side. Maybe me and GP were feeling a bit circular, but we worked on yet another water wheel, and we made this one a bit of a different color. We thought it would add just that little bit of difference, a little bit of pop, or make the other ones pop, something. I don't really know. And then another circular thing with like these sharp saws in the top. This area down here that we're building is just one of my favorite areas. I mean, we've got so much character, so many little details, and it was really, really fun to work around with. Now moving down to the terrain below where it's just tough, well, we started to shape the land a little better because, yeah, it was a bit crazy. But we decided to go with something darker at the bottom. I mentioned this to GP, but when you have something going from dark at the bottom to lighter at the top, it works really, really well, especially with a lot of gradients. But yeah, you can see it goes from dark, deep slate, and goes to that orange with the water wheels, and finally gets up to the top with the smooth sandstone in the white. Works super, super well. And the reasoning for this is it actually draws your eyes up, like, you know, your eyes kind of attract toward the brighter, crazier thing. And in some ways, it made the build feel really tall. Granted, it is really tall, but it made it feel taller. Now, I imagine this build as a floating factory island sucking water up from the sea and using it on the water mills. So we obviously had to have some water down here. And let's talk about the magma blocks real quick. Very unfortunately, guys, we just really couldn't think of any place to put it except down here in the water. So we did exactly that. Sorry we couldn't use it in such a special way, but with our build, we couldn't really use it in any big way. So yeah, we added it down in the water, and we also added it subtly in the build itself. We just made a few final touches to our floating island terrain, and that was it for the water area. Now moving our attention up to the tippity top, it looks like we got a pirate ship we're going to build up here, but that's going to change. More on that later. We wanted to build some sort of like pattern to go along the top of the roofs, give it that fantasy flair. Yeah, and it looks really, really cool to dark oak. Acacia wasn't doing it for us, so yeah, we ended up changing it out. The curves on that little rooftopper just do something. I don't know what. But let's focus on the pirate ship part of this now. Yeah, originally we planned on building masts and making it look like they were harnessing the wind, but then we realized, well, I mean, this is water-like steampunk, not wind steampunk. Yeah, I don't know if, are those two like separate things? Anyways, me and GP were going back and forth. He was saying flag, I was saying mast, then we agreed on streamers, but streamers didn't look good, so we settled on flag. And I think it was the best option overall, because it doesn't detract from the water wheel, which is what we want the main focal point to be. The one thing bugging me was the pole, and like the thing the flags were connected to. And so it took a lot of fiddling around, but I finally came up with a little design with like the dripstone and the jungle, and I think it worked out really well. There was only one other thing this rooftop needed, and well, it was chimneys, because this is like a factory build, and we figured chimneys would kind of give off that effect. We made a few final touches like the canopy in the bottom left, then adding a bit of greenery just to make sure this place isn't completely dead. And that is it for this build. The one thing me and GP agreed we'd try to improve on next time is the shape of the structure and the terrain. But overall, a really fantastic and fun build.
Alright, Ash, I think it's done.
Yeah, check it out. It is done.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That is...
Yeah. I mean, when we started this, I had no expectations of it going this huge. Come on. Like, this is insane.
Neither did I. There were a number of times throughout this build that we accidentally went over top. Like, if you see on this the tip of this roof here, this is right on the cusp of the edge.
Yep. That trapdoor?
So,
nope. Can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so... And over here, we got some buttons that actually go over the edge.
Oh, well, we're not supposed to show the viewers that.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, sorry.
Shh. Yeah, these buttons don't go over the edge.
Oops. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they're perfect.
Perfectly good build, fits within the boundaries.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
absolutely amazing.
GP, let's talk about magma blocks for a second.
Oh, magma blocks. Our good friend, the magma blocks on our water base, our water steampunk.
Yeah, we didn't really know how
Ash?
to use them. Well, they're kind of just in the windows and in the lantern thingies. Like, oh, and I guess in our terraforming down here, so.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, in the water down here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we kind of cheated a bit.
We did. I mean,
it
was so hard.
The magma blocks.
Like, what are we supposed to use the magma blocks for? Like, you can't use them in a palette in like a build, you know? It's kind of hard, at least.
Yeah, so I think next time we'll have to really think about what we're doing. We were just so excited to get into it. We just sort of jumped straight into it and
Yeah.
didn't really plan much.
I mean, isn't that's like every first episode, I think, right?
I think
Probably.
so. Yeah. With the crappy magma blocks, what we should do is we should get the viewers to submit their block ideas so we can
Mm-hmm.
use them in the next build.
Yep. The next build. We need suggestions. We need suggestions on pretty much everything, blocks and themes. So if you have any, go
Yeah,
down to the
if you've got
comments
got a block, you've got a theme, let us know,
and go
and we'll put
crazy.
it in the dispenser.
Go
Yeah,
crazy
the
with the
crazier the
themes.
better, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Crazier
yeah.
the better.
That's what we
Like
like.
apocalyptic Catland or something.
Okay, that's a bit crazy.
Like, I mean, we'll see. You might get your theme in here. It'll be put in the dispenser at least, and then
Yeah, if we like the
I don't know.
idea, it'll come in the dispenser.
Yeah,
So
that's how we're doing it.
that's the build. We've done
That
it,
is the
GP.
build.
All right, well, GP, it was good building, and
All right.
it was a good video. I hope everybody enjoyed.
Yeah.
Let's
And
that'll be it.
see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.